How's it going, guys? Welcome to another Mass Effect 3 character overview. This time I'm going over the N7 Fury. She's a really powerful biotic class character, being an adept and all that. So she has some really powerful biotic powers that you're going to be using like in combination with one another. The way I use her is mostly a short-range offensive character. I use her in combination. I use her biotic powers in combination with a shotgun. I like to use the N7 Piranha because it's fast firing and it's still really powerful, and it's really good in combination with her annihilation field effect, which I'll get into later. She has teleportation abilities instead of rolling, so and allows you to teleport through walls, and that's also with her melee attacks. But anyways, let's get to an overview of her powers. So the first power I wanted to go over was annihilation field. It kind of reminds me of, in Star Wars, the death field of the Sith. They use that force power, and those names are pretty self-evident. It encases you in this aura, and anybody in your immediate vicinity will start taking damage and burning up. A really helpful thing that it does is, as the enemies around you are taking damage, they kind of get staggered back, because it's actually like a burn effect. So it does the same effect as like an incinerate, except much weaker, of course, like in damage wise. But because of their burning, they'll kind of stagger back while they're taking damage, and that really gives you the opportunity to catch them off guard and deal a lot of damage with whatever weapon you have. And that's also why I like to use the shotgun, especially the N7 Piranha, since it deals out damage really fast, and you can take down the enemies around you really quickly. Also, you should take note that your annihilation field is active even if you're knocked down, so that makes it easier for your teammates to pick you up, because if there's any enemies around you, they'll either take damage and be staggered or even be taken out. And lastly, one of the other benefits of the annihilation field is that when it's active, and you're in the midst of a bunch of enemies, you can reactivate it and ignite any biotic combos that are active on the enemies. Now, the field doesn't last forever. I think the maximum is 90 seconds, but once it's done, just recast it and you should be fine. Now, the next power I wanted to go over was Dark Channel. It's a really powerful power. It slowly eats away at your enemy's health and armor and shields or whatever they have. And it's very much a fire and forget power, and that means that you could just shoot it at an enemy and just kind of run around, and they'll slowly take damage. And that's especially helpful in higher difficulties when you just use the power and you just kind of need to keep moving so that you don't die. It also sets enemies that you use it on ready for a biotic detonation. So once you use Dark Channel on someone, you can either ignite that biotic detonation through reactivation of your annihilation field or the throw power. I usually only really use the Dark Channel power on big enemies, since the foot soldiers, they don't last long enough to use like the combination, the biotic detonation combination. Oh, that rhymes. But but yeah, the foot soldiers can be either taken out with your shotgun or with the throw power. And that leads me to the next power, of course, the throw, a good old throw. It hasn't really changed from any of the other classes. It's just your same old throw power. I usually use this if I need to attack something far away relatively quickly, and I choose it over the Dark Channel because it just does more immediate damage and has a lot faster recharge time than the Dark Channel. I have my throw upgraded up to at least the biotic detonation combo, the maximum biotic detonation combo damage, because you want to take full advantage of that when alternating between Dark Channel and biotic throw, so that you can activate that extra damage from the detonation. But yeah, you definitely don't want to not spend any points in throw, because you don't want it just works so well with the other powers. And they just work so well together that you really don't want to miss out on that. If I were to suggest, you might not want to spend as many points into fitness, and that'll make your fury weak, but the upside is that you spend it on all the other powers, and it kind of makes up for it in a way. Now, the Fury does relatively well against all the enemy types and factions. Her powers really make her adaptable to any kind of environment, whether it be she definitely excels at short-range combat, but she also does pretty well in long-range and open maps. You can see me fighting the Reapers here, and I don't think any of the Reaper enemies really pose a threat to the Fury. The big enemies, obviously, the Banshees and the Brutes, really don't pose much of a problem because you can use the Dark Channel on them and or the combat combination. But yeah, the Dark Channel is definitely good against the Banshees because you can just fire it on the Banshee and kind of leave it for either your teammates to kind of fire upon it while you run around, either or do your biotic detonation combos. And the Ravagers also don't pose too much of a problem because you can also use Dark Channel on them. Also, you don't have to worry about husks sneaking up on you if you have your Annihilation field up, because they'll just burn away, and since they have low health, they'll probably be taken out by the field. The Geth are pretty easy to take on with the Fury as well. I think the only enemy that you really need to worry about is the Geth Hunter, and if you have your Annihilation field on, you should be fine. They won't take you by surprise, really, because they'll start taking damage when they get near you. And I highly suggest that you get the perk, I forget what it's called, that allows you to drain the shield of any enemies that are within your Annihilation field radius. It's kind of a confusing power because it doesn't drain it through the Annihilation field. What you have to do is they have to be within your Annihilation field radius, and you have to damage them with one of your weapons, or I believe also your other powers. And it'll transfer that shield power to your own barrier strength. And it's just a really helpful power, and it'll help you survive some close quarters situations. Now that upgrade to your powers will be pretty helpful against the servers because they have a bunch of shield type enemies as well. You do need to worry about the phantoms, but the shield drain does work against barriers too of the phantoms. So in combination with the Annihilation field and Dark Channel, you should be able to take out phantoms pretty easily. You can see me take one out there relatively with the help of some other teammates, relatively easily. And another enemy type from the servers that you need to worry about is the Guardian, because his shield can block both your Annihilation field and Dark Channel. So what I usually do is I use a throw to kind of throw him off, and I just shoot him with a shotgun. And if he has something like the N7 Piranha, you should be able to take him out in just a few hits. So it should be dead too bad. And also, if you flank him, obviously, you should be able to take him out pretty easily. But yeah, overall, the N7 Fury is a really fun class to play as. She's really powerful biotic. You're definitely going to be alternating between the different biotic powers that she has. She's adaptable in any kind of situation. She excels at short range, of course, with your shotgun and field effect powers. But she can be used in long range battles, just using a combination of Dark Channel and Throw, especially for the larger type enemies. And you can take down things pretty quickly with her. Also, apologies for taking so long and getting this video out. I've just been lazy this past month. I probably won't make a video for the N7 Shadow because it's just structurally similar to the N7 Slayer, so there's not too much I could illuminate or be different from that video. But I do plan on getting the new single player DLC coming out, the Leviathan DLC. And I plan on making like a video type, or video/review type video for that. So be on the watch for that. I'll probably post it within a day or two of when it comes out, depending on when I finish the DLC, because from what I heard, it does add some options for the ending. So I'm excited to see what that is. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.